So 2 bad days gets the best team in the world, like outside weren't the best team, but they were the major winners, gets you not into the major. I know it almost never happened, but it could is the point.
Are you f***ing insane?
Right, we're back for another episode of Hot Take Point Made, and you know how we do it. Straight into the breach, my dear friends. So I'm going to start with my hot take, and my hot take is blistering, actually, because what I'm going to basically do is almost everyone listening, maybe even including people in this call now, it's probably going to apply to you to some degree, hurt your feelings, make you think, well, that Thorin's just so... Why does he have to phrase things that way? Why can't I just be polite? But get ready, here's the hot take, right? The reason why you hate VRS is because it makes you feel stupid when you are stupid, and you feel like you missed an episode of your latest soap opera TV show. So here's the problem. I've pointed out to people, if you look at the big picture of VRS, here's the most important things it does. 1, qualifies the best teams to the major. By the way, there has never been a system in the history of Counter-Strike that was as guaranteed to get the best teams into the major as this one. And not only that, it doesn't even do it like the old one where the top 8 playoff teams automatically qualified. Because the bad thing about that was you could be top 8 qualified, but then you might be shit by the next major. Maybe 2 players even left or something. You know, remember when Gambit had fucking Zeus leave, so we all knew they were going to be way worse. So the other thing it also does that is amazing is it also means that the second and third stages of the major, not the first one that all the cutoff is, the second and third are also seeded fantastically. You go and look at those, and it's awesome. It's exactly the best teams are in stage 3. The ones that aren't quite the best are in stage 2. And then stage 1 is the one that's causing all of you this heartache because you're all overreacting to minor things that in 3 months you won't give a flying fuck about. So the 2 problems you all have with VRS go like this. 1, fair play to the people who finally said it out loud. You know the real reason, I've known it the whole time, but I'm at peace with it, is you don't like that you don't understand exactly how the points work. In fact, I say don't like, you hate that. You hate how stupid and small it makes you feel that when someone says, like, but did winning this game actually get them in? Well, actually, we can't fully answer that, says Jesper Uncanned 222 and Mischief CS, because we've got to see what happens in this other match at this other land. And you go, no, but that's hard to understand. Like, I want it to be yes, no. I just wanted to know that whoever won that match qualified and whoever didn't. Bring back RMRs. Oh, remember RMRs. Oh, RMRs were so good. Remember when you'd see the match and then when they would lose and you'd go, oh, damn it. Or they'd qualify and you'd go, yippee, my team made it. Bad news. Eagles all the way. Yeah, remember that? Remember the good old days? So 1, you're all annoyed that you can't just understand exactly what happens with the formula. By the way, let me just explain really quickly. I don't give a flying fuck whether you understand or not. Imagine if we couldn't have cars unless the dumbest person in the world could understand how a combustion engine works and how forward acceleration works and a gearbox, and until he could understand, we're not allowed to all have cars. That'd be no society! Guess what? Not only do I not need to know how a car works, you definitely don't need to know how a car works. Just either get in one, drive it and shut the fuck up, or get out the way when I'm driving my car. And you don't need to know how it works. You don't need to know how central heating works. Some of the people in certain countries still don't even know what things I'm talking about here. I would have made that joke about Kassad's region, but they've come a long way in the last few decades. Then obviously, there's the whole, yeah, whatever, we're throwing shots here. Then the other detail is the part that you feel like you missed an episode. I don't blame you for that. I know that the part you enjoyed about the RMR was that you were watching when teams did and didn't make it to the major. The problem is this. Was it really that big a deal? Like, you mean you want the whole RMR? You don't really care about the last match. Like, if the last match, in this case, that FaZe didn't make it, was them playing against Big, if you'd have wanted to, homie, you could have tuned in. You weren't that interested. What you needed is someone to hold your hand and go, watch now, sit down, shut up, this is going to be the match now. Is everyone ready? Are we ready to start? And 1, 2, 3, the match has begun. That match doesn't mean anything. You're never going to watch. By the way, none of you ever went to watch the VOD. None of you went back and watched the VOD. Because as soon as you know the result, you don't give a fuck. What you're mad about is you wanted it to be like in League of Legends, where every match is one after another, and you just sit watching one stream going, what next, daddy? More daddy? What's any pudding, daddy? Like, Daddy doesn't give a fuck in this case. So all you need to know about is it all worked out. Listen, I'm going to keep saying that. I'm freaking out. All you need to know is the right team's made it. You don't understand why. The things you don't understand could fill a fucking book. Could be an Encyclopedia Britannica fucker with new volumes coming out every month. Don't you worry about it. All you need to know is it works. Smarter people than you have figured it out. You didn't see Checks notes, the shittest teams in the world not qualified to the major. Well, boo fucking who? Oh, what? Thorin, I'm going to weigh it up. That's a negative. You didn't see the shittest teams in the world qualified. No, what did we gain? Nah, not much, Thorin. Just nothing, really. Oh, just every other good team in the whole world all qualified in a totally logical way from the real tier 1. Oh, I think I'll take that deal all day long. Instead, you all want to just be selfish and go, since I can't get literally everything, throw it all in the bin and let's just have the old dog shit system where outsiders can win the major and then not even qualify to the next one. Or FaZe Clan has to play like 17 last chance matches to get in, even though they're like a top 8 team. That's garbage. So at the end of it all, it doesn't have to actually apply to people in this room. I just want to put the fucking fire up their asses and make them listen to what I was saying. You don't like the VRS system because it makes you feel stupid, because it's really complicated to understand, and then also because you don't get to see all the elimination matches. I'm just going to say, I don't think any of those even come close to and amounting to scrap this system and go back to RMRs. Like, the RMRs were actually the opposite. The worst possible system, especially because, remember, no one ever even fixed the RMRs. The RMRs were like the Swiss systems at the major. You lose the 2 BO1s on day 1, you have one more day of your whole career if you fuck up a BO3. So 2 bad days gets the best team in the world, like outside weren't the best team, but they were the major winners, gets you not into the major. I know it almost never happened, but it could is the point. So, thoughts, gentlemen? I've rushed the whole scene there. Everyone's on.
No. I think it's pretty good. For the record, I do know what central heating is.
Okay,
I have been having central heating since 1960s.
Okay.
My grandfather
All right.
put that into our house. He was a first generation anti-Nazi guy,
Fair
by
play.
the way. But that's another subject.
Okay. Well, we've all got faults.
What?
Keep going.
No,
Yeah, okay.
Never mind. A war guy. Basically, so coming back to it kind of landed up pretty nicely because you mentioned the VRS, because my hot take is about the VRS.
Oh,
too.
okay.
And I'm just going to implement it together with yours and give you a reply as well. The reason, like, my hot take was supposed to be that the VRS right now as it is the best thing that happened to CS since the beginning.
Yes.
In terms of Valve updates. Because not just, everybody heard your points about, the best teams making it, the teams that play bad, they don't make it. Now, obviously, there's like arguments there to kind of support that. There are arguments that some teams don't belong in stage 3. Some teams would rather be in a not rather, but they belong in stage 2 instead of stage 3. Like, for example, Puria this year doesn't really belong in stage 3, or even Aurora played well, but let's say Falcons, who kind of didn't play well besides one event. There are arguments there, but still there are arguments for them to be there. So it's kind of debatable in a sense. When it comes to VRS and these small lands, what you didn't mention and what I was going to mention and add to my take is what they brought to us. Not just the arguments that you made and the best teams making it.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
They brought us the small LAN vibe in a sense that something that we lost with these big orgs coming into the scene. All these legacy players, old and new. When I say old and new, I mean like Forest. When I mean old and new, when I say I mean Robs.
Okay.
From the LANs in Inferno Online, from some random LAN cafe in Riga or Ulaanbaatar right now in Mongolia. Those type of LAN brought us, this very talent that we use today on big events, right? And those LANs got forgotten. No teams that had any chance to qualify for any event would ever consider coming in Romania on a random LAN, or in Portugal or in Riga or wherever, right? Or in Belgrade for that matter. We saw FaZe playing in Belgrade together with Big last week and they didn't make it. None of these teams would go there just to play event, because the prize money is like 10, 15K. That's like 15 days salary for some of the players.
That's full call,
Yeah, so they come there and we get this line vibe where everybody's saying face to face, small room. Its temperature is like super high. There is no audience. The people are standing outside your PC and just looking like this. If they can see something, you are communicating, see what the other screens like. When you pop a flash, you see the guy's flash. All these small things and small things that brought CS to what it is right now. We forgot about that, and Valve did that. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but they did manage to bring that back to us. And I'm enjoying watching all these LANs and all these teams who are supposed to be, super favorite, struggling in this environment, and they get to realize what it is. They have to pay for their own hotel room. They have to travel. They organize their own travel. Come here, play, prove they're the best. And most of them didn't prove they're the best. Look at what happened to FaZe, Liquid, and many others.
Aurora, loads of people, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. G2, even though they won one event, they lost a couple of as well. So for me, I think I do agree. This is for you that you don't need to understand. When it comes to your take, that you don't need to understand. The thing is going well for everyone right now. Even though the Valve kind of cut them of the or cut them off with skin gambling, which is for somebody is like good, for somebody is bad. You kind of
of course
deduct the prize money. That's another subject that's debatable as well. But you can see like the lands are popping off everywhere. People are fighting for the points. I think it's gonna grow even more. When it comes to the next season, people will understand the importance of this 10, 15, 20 points.
Yeah.
The 10, 15, 20 points is the reason, is the difference between Liquid and somebody else making it or not making it, not to mention FaZe and the other teams. So it's a good thing. Obviously, there needs a little bit more regulations and rules, I think, when it comes to these events, because you see what Chinese did. Like then, Lean Vision winning an event against Tyler.
Without winning any matches, just walkovers.
Yeah. I mean, what is that, right?
Yeah, sure.
Then there needs to be some sort of regulations, when it comes to that, they need to think of it. There is not enough rules when it comes to organizing those events that can be exploited in more than a few ways. But I think that the base of it and the thing they achieved, I don't know if on purpose or not, is good for Counter-Strike, is good for you. Have these small teams, small orgs like Ill Will or Focus or Magic or whatever, like these small teams that you get to follow because you're interested in if they're going to make it, are they going to ruin someone's day? Like I notice players, I notice teams. Those are small orgs with 2K salaries that are playing against big dogs with 30K salaries. And all in a small land, small room where you cannot get out of. You can your 150K followers on Twitter mean shit in that room when you play, because you're playing on a server, somewhere in some random fucking city for 10K for the first place, but you want those points, and more than enough people failed to do so and didn't make it to the major. So I kind of put these two takes together, but yeah, I definitely agree, and I think that it's the best thing that Valve did for CS in a long, long time.
I have a couple conflicting opinions on this
one. Come on,
so
let's say it was
not gonna fully agree with it. I feel like there's obviously aspects, first of all, that, as you guys have listed, that are great about VRS. I'm not trying to even downplay most of those, but it can still obviously be gamed, because I still hold the opinion that PARIVISION didn't deserve their slot at the Budapest Major.
Yeah.
They how am I supposed to believe that they get invited as one of the 16 best European teams when they didn't win a single LAN match for the entire season against a single team that's within the top 20? That's gaming a system as opposed to actually earning a spot. There's other teams that I would say in that season that won matches against teams. VP were crumbling at that time, and I know that this is going to look bad because of the results of both of the teams, but VP had won more series versus top 15 teams than PARIVISION did that season. And so that's a big aspect for me. I'd say also another aspect is that this actually, in a way, hurts the broadcast talent space in my eyes, because one of the ways that you would get a chance to work with one of the big TOs is by working the RMR that they put on for that TO.
That was like the test ground, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was the test ground, exactly. I mean, think of, and I'm not even trying to pick on him. I know that there's been some back and forths we've had, but like think of Dust's career. It was revived because of the RMRs that PGL ran. Because PGL were running whatever RMR in Copenhagen, then they were able to try him out. Like, did Dust at that moment merit a real chance at the major? Absolutely not. So they give him the testing ground, as did Dinko with actually the Paris major. He worked the RMR first, did a good enough job on the broadcast, then he gets something there. So I would say from those two angles, I think that there were some aspects, some pros with the RMR circuit. That's not to say that all of these things can't change over time, because obviously there's different opportunities now. People have opportunities like when Haka and Fi were casting at HLC Belgrade instead. It's a different event. It's of a different caliber. It's not with the same TOs that we're all used to, but they got to show what they were made of on a game that had a lot of viewership. And I'll also say that even though I don't miss the aspect of the RMR where G2 could miss the major because of what happened in 2022. I mean, Kassad, you got to celebrate harder than anybody. You got to celebrate harder than anybody because Hooksy failed at the RMRs. Would that have happened with the VRS? No. So you got to be right one more time.
Why not?
Because he missed the major. It's like the biggest fail in G2's career was when Hooksy was IGLing at that RMR.
I get it, but like it could have happened to Liquid. It was just one map difference. Like those are the similar organizations, similar teams. Like it could happen to G2 as well, in a sense, right?
I got to celebrate too because Nafany couldn't make it to the Paris Major. So oftentimes these semi fraudulent. I'm not going to say that because I think Hooksy's actually proved himself. But in my opinion, Nafany's never actually recovered. Nafany has never recovered. Let's be real.
The joke is, even though this is an aside, Simple defended him. Play with him now, you fuck. He's at your level now at this point in time, mate. I bet you won't though, will you? Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, and I also think that a lot of the fun aspects of Counter-Strike as an esport is the storylines. Sure. And I do think that the storylines are a lot more solidified and they're crystallized when you have the RMR that works into the major. To me, it did serve a purpose in terms of narrative building. That being said, I'll then now say those are my points for it. I think in general, I'd say 95% of the VRS has succeeded. Like that's my retract. I'm retracting from the statement in that sense. Like that, those little qualifying statements I made are in the face of getting the roughly speaking 28, 29 best teams in the world at the major. In the face of that, I think we can take those concessions. So I'm a fan of where the VRS has gotten us to. I just think that there could be still some fine tuning so that we don't have another PARIVISION like team that makes it when like really I don't think they proved anything that season prior to that major run up. But other than that, there's mostly good that has gone on because of the VRS.
For me, it's like that's just you gave an example of PARIVISION. This is what I meant, but more rules and regulations, right? That's the
you just need to tweak it more,
a little bit more. When it comes to narratives, like isn't there a better narrative like than some random ass team or new team or up and coming team had to travel and pay with their own fucking pocket money to get to the fucking Ulaanbaatar or whatever the fucking city is and then made it to the fucking major? Isn't that a better storyline than I'm watching fucking FaZe lose to Bad News Eagles, right? In a fucking RMR in whatever country was like organized, right?
Well, that was Rio Major, but yeah.
Yeah, who cares?
It's all good.
Like the thing is like I would rather see another storyline which is more interesting to everyone, like a more underdog type of thing, right? Than giving an example of Bad News Eagles getting invited to the RMR because they played the major, right? That's a fucking bullshit. They haven't won anything a single season, and you don't mention that.
Yeah. Anyway, let's keep it moving.
I think FaZe is the exact type of team that totally didn't earn their spot. They in turn also won like 2 LAN series, I think, for the entire season until they went to these really shitter.
Let's keep it moving anyway, because we've got a lot of stuff to cover. So first of all, First of all, go on.
Yes, I mean the thing is that if obviously you want to hear more of us debating, especially if you're on the go, why not do it with the Raycon Everyday Classic Earbuds? You can go to www.buyraycon.com/hot take. And as Thorin was holding up there, the Everyday Earbud Classics, I use them on the plane quite frequently. Sound canceling has been super solid, great to move around with. Battery life is fantastic. They are one of our sponsors, and so you can support us, support them, or also just upgrade your earbuds with their headphones. There's currently I think it's 15% off actually going on if you use our code. So that's over $10 off, and be sure to check them out because they also, I'm pretty sure that these ones are waterproof. These are weather resistant. This is something I actually didn't know until recently, but compared to other earbuds that don't have these kind of water resistance ratings, they have an IPX4 weather resistant score, so they can be worn if it's raining outside, snowing outside. If you are a really big sweater, I know some of you out there that you guys work up some real big sweats. We have other sponsors for the smell of that, but for the sweat itself, Raycon's got you covered. So check them out at buyraycon.com/hot take.
I would never speak about anyone's mother who at least doesn't flame me directly, so just keep her off Twitter. But it is Mother's Day soon as well, so you could also save and give your mother them. Look, I don't know that she wants to listen to this show. Maybe she would like to listen to something about basket weaving or Bible study. I don't fucking know. Depends who I made your mum way more wholesome than she probably is, but you know what? She's a lovely lady, maybe. Anyway, continue on. Right, next point is this, boys. We're now going to do a little inserted topic via the internet because over on old Polymarket, they have a bunch of props, don't they? And they have a few that I thought were very interesting right now. So one, we've all just seen the aforementioned FaZe fail to make the major, right? So now they've failed to make the major. This market becomes even more interesting. Will FaZe make a roster move before May? So they've only got the rest of April. It's now at 52% chance according to Polymarket traders. So it's now crept over into becoming likely according to them. Right, there's two angles for this, boys. One, I want to know, does each person think it will happen? And then two, if you do, let's just spitball. We've seen there's a rumour now, maybe Woxix. Let's spitball. Who are some people who you think might join? Not who could, who might. Who do you think is plausible? So who wants to go? Wait a second. There you go. Right, who wants to go first? Who thinks, will it happen? Will it not happen? Which side would you take?
If I was there, Sensu.
Oh, because he's on loan, so he could still be signed.
Yeah, he's on loan.
Right.
He's on loan. He's not committed to the Passion UA project at all, in a sense that, like, contractually.
Yeah.
So, and you've seen their results. They haven't made a major. They play the way they play. He didn't play the same way he was, with the same numbers that he had in Mongols, but that you can expect that, and you cannot really hold it against him. I think it's a perfect time for him to step up. And FaZe obviously needs to make a change. Like, roster move before May, for me, they should go to at least 75%. Because, like, the timing is there. Like, they have Blast Rivals, which nobody cares about, and they have Atlanta, I think. Yes. And then after that, it's the season is over for them unless they play something to group up the points, but which wouldn't be the worst case scenario. But the thing is, like, I would start with Senzu, and I would probably look for an op. Now, I don't know where I'm going to find the op, but is it Woxix? Is he the caliber that they need, or somebody maybe younger, or maybe older? I don't even know. But the thing is, I would first go for a rifle and a coach. That's the priority for me.
Well, yeah, I think it's going to happen. I feel like this is... I don't know how this doesn't happen, actually. The only way this doesn't happen is if FaZe are actually waiting out the whole major, and then they're going to just try to get in on the post-major shuffle. But I would just say, go in now, because you have a couple of event invites coming up. I don't think you really have the time to wait with a totally busted lineup. The fact that you have invites to Blast Rivals and Atlanta, like, you got back-to-back events in America. So thing is that if you want to actually spitball who he can possibly get, I would probably not lean towards a Degster, unfortunately. I know a lot of people probably want him to be on the team, but just the difficulties of getting into America when you're a Russian, let alone Dagestani, like, I think that's pretty hard for him. So somebody that has gotten into America recently, although I don't know if he's had problems since then, has been Halzerk. I would probably go for someone like a Halzerk instead of Brokey. Kind of had a weak... What, he had a bit of a weak finish on Complexity, don't get me wrong, but or Passion UA, which is why they replaced him with Try. But dude, I would just take him for sure as like a more reliable player. I think he's definitely a more reliable player. Imposes himself a little bit more. For rifles, I think it's really interesting to think of. Actually, this is the more. I don't know. I was kind of thinking of making this a hot take, but fuck it, we'll just spend it here. It's just if Brollan is going out of Maus,
okay,
should this just be my hot take? If Brollan's going out of Maus, FaZe should just get him for Jacob.
Put him in the Jacob spot. Yeah, I like that. That's a good move, mate. It's a hot take, though. You're right.
Yeah, FaZe should just be getting him for Jacob right now. Still, he's not I struggle to say anybody. I don't even know if you should just go off because this pretty much is my take. This pretty much is my take at this point.
Well, we'll do it after this segment. Let's just transition after this. We'll finish this segment, right? But I'll zoom on quickly, right? The only part here is the tricky part is has to be before the end of May, so they can't wait to Atlanta. Essentially, what they have to want to do, like you guys are saying, is want to have the new roster for Atlanta and try and do well there. So one, I don't think it can't be Woxic is the one, because I'm assuming he's going to play the bloody major with Aurora, right? So I imagine that one you wait for. But I do think it's very plausible that you just go and get another rifle and that it could well be before the end of the month. So actually, I think these odds are a little bit low. I would have said it was like 60 plus. I think now you've got a few weeks off. You've got a couple of events that we say are coming up that you want to attend. This is where you go and you get another player. And by the way, even more so, maybe you look around some of the teams that didn't make the major and go and get one of those guys immediately. So I'm with you. I think this is an absolute angle where you could do it. I think the Senzu one's even a great angle. He's not going to be playing at the major with Passion Weight or Mongols. So why not just bring him in? It already feels like what he's done in those two teams. I thought he was even good in Passion Weight. He would fucking bang if he was on a Carrigan team. Here, prediction. If Senzu joins FaZe, magically you all go, wow, Carrigan got his calling. But no, yes, people who can shoot people now, mate. Like, now he has someone who doesn't go in and get 30% entry rate or whatever. Like, what do you want? Like, so I think they would work immediately. So I like this one. I'm with Maui. You're going on it now. Right, keep going then, Maui. Keep it running. If you want to make this top take, let's segue into it.
This is one that did definitely drew some inspiration from Twitter, but I just buy it. I buy it super hard. I just think that if Brollan is on the way out of Maus, then he still can frag. He's not. I struggle to call him a fragging in-game leader. I probably wouldn't even really consider almost anybody like a real like fragging IGL. Like, it's been a while since we've actually had somebody that can really hold their own, but he hasn't completely tanked. Like, he's not in giga red ratings every single event that he plays. Yeah, he's okay. And I feel like if he's not in game leading, well, then a lot of that comes back. A lot of the play comes back. It's kind of, this might be also an example that you kind of have to be a really like watch a lot of CS to get it, but it's kind of like what Body was for 3D Max, where people kind of wrote him off after his Fnatic stint because he wasn't really the best caller, and he was a kind of a mediocre fragger. But then he got like probably 10%, 15% of his fragging back when he became more of just a fragger on 3D Max. I think the same would probably happen to Brollan. I don't think that Brollan suddenly has like IGL brain. Okay, I don't think he's trying to always come up with a crazy amount of ideas or anything like that. So if FaZe get him for Jacob, like, let's just also be real about that aspect of this. Like, beyond legitimately. Let me see who I wrote down as like being a Jacob fan. One, Launders. Like, other than Launders who like Jacob, like, I don't know. Like, there's nobody that has really bought into that at all. And then I don't even know if I believe that. That feels like he's doing his Andy Kaufman, being a bit weird. Doesn't he really believe that? Like, he's a fan of Jacob. I don't know about that. Is that real? He liked Jacob a lot. Okay. And the thing is, actually, it kind of paid off at Budapest a bit, but now it's just fallen off completely. Like, it's pretty inexcusable at this point. Like, I've even noticed that Polish fans have a hard time defending Jacob in my mentions. They used to come at me like crazy if I said anything about him, but now it's like, it's way less fierce. I actually only get like ironic Polish slurs now thrown at me as opposed to like the constant blurry of them that used to enter my mention. So clearly he needs to be on the way out of FaZe, which is take one, but that's not a hot take. The hot take is that Brollan, to me, is an incredibly fitting replacement. He can play a lot of bad roles. He can actually, he will communicate way better. Like, even though Brollan in a lot of the Maus comms videos was not the most talkative, communicative person, it was oftentimes others overtaking him, like Exertion, like Torzi. Still, he was the in-game leader for the team. He's going to have ideas. And I feel like that's something that Carrigan desperately needs right now, is just another guy that's in the fray, can give some calls. I'm sure like Rain was definitely better than what Jacob is when you compare like comms videos versus videos then versus now. So Brollan could be that guy. Like, Brollan could absolutely help out FaZe. And the take to make it even hotter, Brollan will save FaZe. Like, Brollan will save FaZe if he joins for Jacob. I think it is actually such a drastic difference, because you watch the comms videos for FaZe, Jacob only really gives reactive information. Like, he only is just like, dead. I'm dead. There's one short. It's like that's the extent of his calling from what I've seen there. Whereas Brollan will be like, oh, hey, there's one short. Okay, I'm going to smoke that off. I'm going to go up short con. Like, the added level of direction, especially from an entry player, is so vital for Kerrigan and the rest of FaZe. So Brollan will save FaZe.
Yeah, and you were insane.
Go on, respond.
But the thing is, no, listen.
That was half-hearted. He didn't even mean that this time. I know, he didn't even mean it this time. He just said it for the sake of being like Bart, say the line, didn't he? I know, go on. Go on.
Now, you said, like, yeah, Jacob, he's constantly, like, you know, one short, I'm dead. And then you said, like, about Brollan, like, you know, one short, I'm going to smoke this, do that. Like, I mean, Jacob cannot do that if he's dead.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
He's dead.
Stop undercutting what he's saying with real points.
What do you do? Like, he's dead. No,
come up with a plan, dude. Yeah. Have you ever watched a FaZe comms section or video where he has any plans?
No,
like it's so it's essential as a coach that like you need players that can come up with plans on the fly. Jacob didn't do that.
Yeah, like correct, compare it to the Messi's communication.
Move a bit close to the mic.
It's not like that. It's not like that Messi has some crazy fucking calls in the team. You know, it's just. But I do agree. Like he needs to be replaced. That's fine. You said interesting point, like about Brollan when he comes back, to the playing role instead of the IGLing and playing. All of this will come back. That's the real question for me.
Sure.
Is it too late? Does your brain in year and plus whatever switches too far to the point that you are thinking about all these other things rather than the
just keep going. Don't worry about that. It was for dramatic effect. I didn't do that, but keep going. It's for dramatic effect.
Anyway.
PTA.
The thing is, like,
keep going.
The thing is definitely, I don't think it's so easy to come back in the sense of like, the fragging ability, because your brain is wired to watch all these things happening because this is what you did in the last year and something. Like, you don't just easily come back. The good thing about Brollan coming back is 23 years old. And he was already top 20 twice. He has 5 events. Like, how many players, can say that in their careers, like up to 23, that they are top 22 times already. So the experience is there. I don't know about his mindset. People have told me different things. Swedish people told me that he's too quiet, too introvert, too to himself. He's not very, opinionated in a sense. How can that affect and how can that apply to FaZe? Whatever the FaZe is planning, I don't know. Would he be a good addition? Yeah. With a solid offer. Now that you said Halzerk, I can't even discuss that. But Brollan, Brollan is a valid option. I do agree. I don't think he will save FaZe because they need more than that one, lifeboat thrown at them because, and that's not only Brollan. So they need more. Would it be a good move? Absolutely, 100%.
All right, we're going to do some serious analysis and then some joke analysis, because from doing Maui's costume, I've realised I just need to bring that aspect back. And as usual, don't ask permission, just force it upon you all. So the serious analysis is, as kassad just said, Brollan he will only turn 24 years old in June of this year. Like, he is still mega young. The joke is he just got into the scene so young as an actual prodigy in the Swedish scene that we're all just thinking he's like 27 years old. He's at the end of his career. He isn't even vaguely. He is so young. By the way, he even has years more where he could just get his game back. Like, if he doesn't get it back in FaZe, by the way, spoiler, he'll go to tier 2 and just become a top player again. He'll do like the resurrection that Rez did or something like that. And that, by the way, Rez is like 28 or something, so that doesn't even count. So also, if people don't know, I did an interview with Brollan before he became IGL. I think I did it in like the first time round in Maus, and he just openly said he was totally happy with Exertion being the playmaker, but just because it was Exertion, he still wanted to be the playmaker too, as in that like aggressive role. It's just that he knew Exertion was slightly better than him, so it was like, why wouldn't I just let him do it and then I'll do something else? So I also do think, by the way, he's still got actually the drive to potentially want to be like a star player in that regard. I think he only went and took that IGL role because it was the only appropriate person in that moment who could go and do that job and have it where he's still sort of like an entry-ish pack type player or like an aggro player, and then he just does simple call. I don't believe he even did proper full IGLing in that team. Like, I have so many suspicions about whether, that's why I do think that rumour was interesting about maybe Exertion was going to be the IGL for this year and they were going to swap him out out and get other players. Whether or not it was PR or not, I think the idea that they might have thought about a move was real. I don't think that they just were going to sit on these 5 players forever. Also, he's another player where it's like that thing, your time in an IP doesn't count. The joke is he was even good in an IP. People forget that. He was actually just a good player, basically, even when he was in Maus. That's why he got to be in Maus after that trial period. So he just chose to go to IGL and tank his stats. Aside from that, he was still decent. So also, here's where the joke part comes in. 2 parts. One, what do they always complain about in FaZe? What about the vibes, bro? The vibes. By the way, enjoy those fucking vibes when you literally all cried in real life when you went off camera to your hotel rooms and had to call your families and say how you failed. So vibes good? Vibes excellent? Tell you what, I bet they didn't say anything mean to you, like, why the fuck did you do that? And then win the round, because that'd really hurt your feelings. You're a pro player, grow the fuck up. Secondly, then the whole thing of like, oh, the vibes, well, you know what? He'd be the ultimate person for the vibes, wouldn't he? It's there in his name. He's a bro on LAN. Then secondly, you all wondering, FaZe, all the roles are all fucked up, aren't they? What are we doing? Well, you know what? This guy's played like playmaker role. He's played like supportive rifle. He's been IGL. He's the ultimate fill-in player, isn't he? Just like, because he's a natural. He's just a natural fill-in player. Just like his lips look like Swedish women. He's had a mad amount of filler put into them. That's natural. He just has cod lips naturally. That's just who he is. That's just who he is naturally. That's all the women look at him. They just go, what's your surgeon? You got to give me the energy. He goes, I'm just born this way. Bro, or whatever the fuck they say. I don't know. I guess he wouldn't say that to himself when he's the bro. Anyway, the point is, we've done real analysis there. We've done fictional analysis. I'd believe it would work. I think Maui's hot take is a hot take because every fan's going to be like, he can only be an IGL and wow, isn't he shit in Maus or something, you know? But I agree. Even if they kick him, mate, I would pick him up tomorrow. That's another good gamble, especially because, as we're saying, you have to basically take people who, in this analogy, wouldn't be available otherwise to join your team. No one good is joining FaZe Clan right now. Like, miss me with all those ones who are like, what if this top player, why would anyone join that team right now? I'll even throw in the last thing of all, which you all just fucking miss every single time for some reason. I don't know why you refuse to acknowledge this. Since you all brag to me that it's FaZe Esports separately from FaZe Clan, where are they getting the money to sign anyone good? Do they have a single buyout? I don't believe that. I don't even think they signed Jacob for real. I think he just was the only cheap-ass player that you could probably sign for, I'm going to guess, like 100k or 50k or something out, basically. Might even be fuck up. Maybe they even just gave him to you. Who knows at this point in time. So I think, actually, it's a pretty good hot take. I like it. Now,
they don't have money?
FaZe Clan. Where does FaZe Clan have money? Where would they get the money from, Kassad?
That's what I'm asking.
That's what I mean. Look, here's what makes FaZe Clan famous. Banks, giant streamers, we have Snoop Dogg, we have giant... If the company is separate from that company, that's good in the sense that that company's dying. But where did FaZe Esports get their money? There's no VC. They didn't get tens of millions of dollars. There's no giant sponsors. Look at that. I'd even be shocked, by the way, if any of them were on high salaries. I would guess their salaries are like 16th highest in the scene or 11th or something. I doubt they're in top salaries, bro. I'd be shocked if anyone... That's why I think people like Frozen have actually fucked their own careers staying. Like, you probably could have got more money and been on a better team. You just wouldn't have Carrigan.
Like, nah,
all right, here's the question. Do you want to do your hot take, Kassad, or do we go with the fan hot take? Which are you going with now?
Well, you said that was a good fan take, and you kind of
let's go for it then.
A little bit, so
we go with that one. So if you want to submit a fan take, obviously you just go to the Last Nation Discord, subscribe. There's a channel, CS Hot Take, submit it there. We might ask it, we might not. We'll almost certainly roast it, but let's go. So Lenny says, listen to this, because you're just buckle up for this one, Kassad. FaZe shouldn't change their roster right now, and zonic should remain the coach of Falcons for next season. Why? This reach is amazing. Get ready. Why? Anim Graph 2. I believe this is going to have a very significant impact on the game, bringing it close to how CSGO played. You will actually be able to hold angles. My prediction is pure mechanics for riflers will matter slightly less, and tactics will become slightly more important. I believe it will result in a 0.1 HLT rating decrease for Donk and other elite entries, and a 0.05 increase for Nico and Twists. It will benefit the old guard slightly more, extending their careers. FaZe has money constraints. I don't believe changing their roster right now and spending a lot of money on buyouts is a good use of funds. Rather, it's smarter to wait and see which elite prospects are available after the update. Further, if we believe Anim Graph 2 will have a significant impact on core aspects of the game, it's worth it to see how Brokey and Jacob perform. There's a small chance the changes allow Brokey to scrape back some of his old form. This season is already cooked. Seeing up-and-coming prospects with the new changes will allow you to make a better assessment of what you're getting and spend your dollars safely. For Falcons, I predict the game will shift in a direction where Zonic's style will be more effective. He's had more than enough chance to prove himself, but if the coming update has a non-negligible impact on fundamental aspects of the game, it's worth suffering in the short term for the potential upsides next season. Albeit, I'm less confident about this, and making a change now doesn't come with as many risks, because Falcons has unlimited funds. Gentlemen, thoughts?
This guy's a fool. But the thing is, like, in that way, the real thing he said was like the FaZe is like his restricted funds. That's all normal thing. I'm getting really tired of this thing, like this narrative and these people saying that one X player or Y player is playing bad because of the game. Like, Brock isn't missing because of the game.
Oh, yeah.
It's not the game. It's yeah. He's the problem.
It's the Latvian guy connected to the game through a mouse and keyboard. That's the main problem they have at the moment.
Yes. Yes. It's not the game. Stop blaming the game for these fucking bad performances. Like, you have players that are hitting shots as well on the same game. It's not like he's playing a different game.
No.
They're playing the same game on the same server, same ping, same everything, same gear. And he's hitting and the other guy is not. On the other side, he said, like, they shouldn't change anything. Like, what the fuck? If they continue like this, they won't be playing anything.
I know they won't. By the way, a lot of fans don't get this. Even though the season's over, they have to still do well at stuff like Atlanta, or they're going to have no invites at all for next year. I don't think people get that still, bro. It's crazy, isn't it?
The points will rot away.
Yes.
Like, they have to keep earning points to be invited. Just like your FaZe, and you are eternally invited to events. It doesn't work that way, fortunately for all of us, right? So they need to keep playing. They need to make active roster moves. They need to have somebody smart making decisions. We still don't know who that person is. By the way, the Kerrigan said, like, I told FaZe. Who? You told who? Who is FaZe? Who is making decisions? Yeah, but anyway, the Falcons thing is also a ridiculous fucking point. Like, it's not the fucking game. It's not. We saw why are they struggling. They are not a team. That has nothing to do with the game or the fucking ping or whatever the fuck is that thing called, the new update.
Animgraph
I can't even pronounce that word. Yeah.
Animgraph 2, yeah.
Yeah. It's not that. That's not going to make Falcons play better. Different things will play. Different people in the team will make them play better. Different fucking structure will make them play better. Better coach will make them play better.
I thought I knew all the depths of FaZe Corp that existed, but this Adam Graph 2 reach is so nuts. It's crazy.
It's fucking crazy that he would even, like, I mean, that's a fucking reach if there was ever one, right? I mean, he must have been a FaZe fan for a long time, but it's nonsense, I think. Like, we should just reimburse him if he is, like, you know, deposited any money for this. It's a crazy thing.
Brokey has been a low-impact player because he's been a bad player.
Yes.
Which is, it's maybe a tautology, but it's also just, he's been really bad for a while, and that's just because he's making bad choices, putting himself in bad situations, he's not creating opportunities. On top of that, he is missing shots. That's not going to change with a model update. I feel like there is a point that he can make, but one small aspect that he said that may be true is that this could be a slight donk nerf. When you look at actually how the models look with Animgraph 2 versus the old system, it just, the donk slides and those kinds of moves are a little bit less jarring.
Okay. So
I think that could actually play into kind of nerfing people like him, but Donk is still an otherworldly player for reasons more than just the way that his model shifts. He still has so many other aspects to his game that make him world elite, world's best rifler. It's not, but I do think that this could be a very slight buff to oppers in general, just because there's less like rifler jank. I'm actually, you know, I'm not acknowledging this guy's point at all. Just by the way, I'm just kind of giving my take on Animgraph 2. I just think that oppers are probably going to see a slight boost, and they might get like one more kill a game. I think that's actually like two. It'll be actually a noticeable improvement. Like it's not like 0.5 more kills per game. I think it's actually going to be like one more kill per half. They'll probably hit the shot. So that's actually reasonable, but I don't think it's going to be as seismic as this guy's making it out to be, that you should have in any way, shape, or form still believe in this version of FaZe.
No, what made it trash, his point was this. Even if I acknowledge that it might have an effect on the mechanics and who wins in a duel, etc., even the numbers he quoted are nothing. Like, if you're saying it'll make Dunk like 0.1 let... Man, that's the greatest player ever. It'll make slightly worse. Will still be insane. Like, what's the point? And also, even if we buy all of that, first of all, you're making the mistake of saying it is CS:GO. It might be more like CS:GO. It isn't going to be CS:GO. So we're not going back to the old game, which allows you to then think that Zonic and fucking FaZe is fine. And then lastly, apply that to like a medium tier team, and we can have a conversation. If you said to me that will make someone like Foot slightly less dangerous, or it'll make PARIVISION slightly better because they play tactic, then that's a great take. The idea that like this is actually like literally in this analogy, FaZe is about to like fucking just like disband and walk away. Zonic's like, you know what? I should have done this a long time ago. He's about to sign that like fucking I resign thing, and then he goes, hold up a second, and Graph too. Gets on the phone, buy the stocks. I'm back, we're back, baby. And he's running around the fucking offices of Falcons like Ari Gold from Entourage, like, yes, Lloyd, what up, bitches? Like, he's not going to be, is he? That's the craziest reach. Essentially, was this take written by either Jacob or Zonic? Like, what the fuck? Who wrote this take? Come on, Lenny of Mice and Men. You need to be put down in a fictional sense, like in that book. Anyway, that's enough of that. I think we now go to Kassad's take.
Mine was about the VRS, but I can throw in another one.
Go on then.
Throw in out because we haven't
bonus Kassad take, everyone. Bonus. Go on.
We haven't talked about the top tier teams, the Falcons and Spirits and like all these things. Okay. And I was thinking, this is out there, right?
Jesus, you have to set up like that. Go on.
Even for me, like I think everybody, including us watching the game and the whole scene, would benefit, including the teams, if Shiro and Mauisnake swap teams.
Right. Okay. Wait a minute. How does Falcons get better by getting Shiro?
Falcons get better by getting Shiro is like this. Obviously, we know that Mauisnake is a more aggressive operator, right? He takes a lot of resources, a lot of space, a lot of entry, tries and taking a lot of space initially in the round, right? Shiro doesn't do that. He transfers his, I guess, the best part of his game to the later part of the round, right? He's more with the clutching, he stays the last, second last. He makes the kill and the rotation of the information of the kill, rather than what Mauisnake does is he's going and making those rotations and kills so other people can play. So that's one thing, right? And with that, players like Kyosuke would get more resources. And I was gonna say Nico too, but I don't know how many people. I assume 90% of the people have given up on Nico now.
Yeah, sure.
Point. But let's throw him into the conversation for the argument's sake. He's gonna get more space on his roles, especially if he stays the rifle and tonight GL. Together with Kyosuke, they can make a better in-game chemistry in a sense. More can be done with those two when the operator is sitting back and doing his own thing in the later portion of the rounds, right? It can be better organized, better structured. The round flow would go much, much easier, and it could be done rather than what this is right now. Everybody just running headless chicken, trying to do some shit, and nobody's doing anything, and everybody's flaming each other and whatever the fuck is happening, right?
Okay.
And all of that is Zonic's fault. But the thing is, when it comes to Spirit side, you have completely different, opposite thing. You have another aggressive player, especially with an op that's, according to Mao, is going to get a buff after this anime, whatever.
Anime Craft 2.
Yeah.
I'll be a soundboard. It's okay, don't worry.
I can't say. But the thing is, he's gonna be getting another more impactful player. Not saying that Shiro isn't impactful, but he's gonna be getting a player that suits him more and the team more. So that two of them can do a lot more together than him and Shiro would. On the other side, it will relieve some pressure from the other players, in the team. Even though I don't agree fully with the lineup they're having right now, but that's a whole different subject. And obviously, they would be Falcons for one. Would be a bigger threat to Vitality. Spirit would probably be a bigger threat to Vitality, which would benefit us as viewers to have more interest in Counter-Strike. The only one who wouldn't benefit is Vitality. They would get more dangerous opponents. Maybe they would like it to have some competition. I don't know. But the thing is, like, I think the pure swap, I don't think there is not to be any money, doesn't need to be involved, because they're similar age and similar value. I think maybe Shiro is a little bit, his stock is a little bit down right now, but still, I think in the bigger picture, in the kind of possibilities, in a way, they can be the same, and I do think they can deliver more than they do in the current teams, and we would all be, having a much more interesting, things to watch and talk about, because that's what we do.
Thoughts, Maui?
I kind of like the aspect of just Shiro being a safer player for Falcons, who probably just need a guy that's going to be more stable, I suppose. I don't necessarily know if this is good for Spirit, because it sucks because I kind of want to buy it because I love the idea of player swaps in general, when it's just like a stylistically one for the other would make sense. But I just don't really, I don't know, like Spirit are in a position where it's just like there's no output for anybody except for Donk. Monacy does do a good enough job to get his and just be an X factor. Like he almost is like the best X factor opper in the game right now. Well, he's the best X factor opper that we've got right now. So if you can just, it's not like it's going to help the other faults of Spirit, but it's a band-aid. And I kind of want to hear Thorin's point. I kind of have an addendum to this that's kind of like, sort of like I have like a heavy, whatever, fuck it, I'll just say it. Like, I kind of can't believe that Holly went from people's second up, runner up, or whatever of Coach of the Year to just not being able.
They think he's a fraud now, bro.
These kinds of
people think he's a fraud.
Yeah,
that's the sense in the community.
That's also kind of why I never rated. I didn't put Holly in my top 3 coaches of the year. Also, because it's like I never really actually felt like the system was that sick. It was like I think in 2024 I did put him in like the top 3, but 2025 definitely not. And I feel like people are just kind of, I just like the inability to make this lineup work is a pretty big. It pokes a huge hole in like what was working or what people thought of his pedigree, I suppose. So that's just kind of an aside point. It could probably be talked about later.
But so my problem is this: I'm not with you on that Holly trade whatsoever. You can fucking be wishy-washy on that all you want. I still think he's a good coach. I think this actually will eventually they'll either make a roster move or this move will work. Like, could still get better.
I don't think that the coach that has the least flash assists in Tier 1 for 2 consecutive years is that good of a coach. Just frankly, I just think
then
that's
make
like
the hot take that
stat.
It's not even players, it's flash assists that's keeping Spirit back. Make that the hot take.
Well, that was the take that I made about Axile, okay. And not Axile, about Nafany, and that proved completely true.
That was true.
They had like the worst flash assists of every event, and that's kind of the exact same situation Spirit find themselves in, where they're just carried by a different kind of entry, where it's Donk instead of Axile. It's not. It's just
first of all, if you ever listen to Zeru fans, they'll tell you that Donk gets all the flashes in the world. He actually gets 17 flashes per round. And then also, the other thing for me is this. The real problem with Spirit I have is this. Donk was ready to win 2 years ago. You have to win tomorrow. The real issue is Magic shouldn't have to be a tier 1 IGL instantly. Like, I think he's actually still got time. I'm not with Overdrive. He's not getting 2 years or whatever the fuck that was. But I'll give him a few more months. I'll give him the rest of the season. I'll give him the chance. Essentially, I'll judge them largely by how the season ends, whether I think he should keep that roster. My problem with this one is, that's why I asked kassad very quickly the clarifying question: how does Falcons get better from this? Because my problem with this is we actually are ignoring something here. You can dislike anything you like about Monacy's game, both mathematically and in terms of the eye test. He is the carry of Falcons. So I'm sorry if I reduce him at all, his impact in this team. I know what you mean. You were making it that you'll get more from Keisuke and Nico and it'll expand the team. That's not a terrible take. That could be true. But my problem is that is, in my opinion, like not a great gamble, because what I'm gambling in that scenario is what I already guaranteed get from Monacy, I might be able to also get from other people collectively. It's like that's why superstar players are worth their weight in gold for my money. They just do shit for you that other people are human, mate. They're up and down. They have periods when they get it, then they don't. So I don't think the Falcons side is that good. Like, I think Falcons still needs changes anyway. On the other side, though, I'm with you on the Spirit one. This would be actually the dream. If you're Donk, you better go to that every night. You better go to bed and pray to God this move happens, bro. Like, if this move happens, forget all the discussion we just had with Maui there. They can have no flashes. You know what? If Mauisnake joins this Spirit with a bunch of players that have played together for a while and Donk, they could throw no flashes and they could win tournaments. Like, Mauisnake and Donk would be so outrageous, it would be fucking insane. That would be like when LeBron and Prime D-Wade played together. Like, you should win every ring, bro. Like, no one can stop you. You have no overlap, and you're both able to completely ball out in star roles while being unbelievable players. And also, those two players have crazy drive. Like, you know what? I'm just going to say it right now. I do think Mauisnake picked up some, like, bitch-ass choking shit from Nico, mate, and being around him too often. I'd imagine it wasn't direct. I'd imagine it's something like, I imagine Nico's, like, a little bit too sort of, like, doesn't really react when they choke and fail and just does the whole, like, oh, well, sorry, guys. Like, anyway, let's have dinner. And, like, I imagine they probably just don't get fired up enough. Like, I think Donk would fucking put a fire under Mauisnake's ass. And also, when you have a player like that next to you, you just won't choke as much anyway, because he'll save you half the time, mate, and then suddenly you'll start not choking in the games that you did choking, if you know what I mean. You'll start to get over it. So I think the Spirit side would be a banger. Like, that would essentially be, if there was a show that asked me this, if I had a genie and I could make one wish in Counter-Strike, I would never do some bitch ass stuff like ruin Vitality. No, keep Vitality exactly the same, but put Donk and Mauisnake together and tell them, I don't know, the fucking world explodes if you don't win the second major of the year. Then let's just go, boys, because that would make the second season crazy hype, whether they made it or not, by the way. So I don't hate that take overall. Not bad.
I agree with the gamble thing, but I would take that gamble simply because I would gamble on what will I get from Shiro. And just to answer Maui, when it comes to the Khalid thing, like, I don't think he's a fraud. I mean, I'm not saying that you were saying that he's a fraud, but I don't think he's I just think he's outvoted there. I think he's out. I think other people, which is wrong completely, have just like bigger voices, like kids in the team, like Donk have bigger voices, which is the reason why he's not, doing the things. Yeah. When it comes to flash assists, I think you are like overreading there. Flash assists are in game, not very exact science. How many times have you seen a flash assist when the guy's not even blind and somebody gets a kill and assist? It's ridiculous. Like, it's not even done properly, so I wouldn't take that into any account. Just for the the argument's sake.
Well, with that said, I do think in Spirit one thing they do need to level up with Magix and Harley and the whole system is obviously they need to communicate better. And if they were in the US, I'd say maybe try Mint Mobile, because actually, obviously Mother's Day is coming up. Don't you want to call your mom? Don't you love her? I'm not saying if you don't purchase this, then you actually hate her, but draw your own conclusions. All I'm saying is give her a call. And if you actually had Mint Mobile, which if you didn't know is a service that starts at just $15 a month for the premium wireless plans. They have high-speed data, unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network. You can bring your own phone and your own number, activate the eSIM within a few minutes and start saving immediately. No long-term contracts, no hassle. You don't have to get embroiled in anything. Just see how it goes, see if you enjoy it. Also, you can get 3 months of premium wireless service from Mint Mobile for just $15 a month. So if you like your money, I imagine you do, obviously Falcons, you don't need to listen to this part, then Mint Mobile is for you. Shop plans at mintmobile.com/hottake. That's mintmobile.com/hottake. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, 5GB plan required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customer offer for the next 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. Right, there you go. I always wanted to do that, Kassad. I always wanted to be that person right before all the like obesity causing fast food adverts, and then the one about like the pills to make your dick work, and then they go, we're back to the NFL. Welcome to NFL Network. Today is the Dallas Cowboys versus the 69. Anyway, there's one last angle I want to go with here, which is we've got another little poly market, haven't we? It wasn't just that one, boys. Yeah. There's another one, which is if you've just seen recently, I'm sure we're all thinking about this one. Will BC.Game before the end of the month make a move? They obviously themselves aren't going to beat the major. 71% chances that now, boys. Now, one, again, does it happen? Yes or no? Two, if it does, this one's even more interesting. What possible players could they get? Is there even a spitball for this one, lads? Do you think it happens, Maui? Are they going to make a change before the end of the month?
Bro, anybody but Aragorn. Like, just anybody. This guy is horrible. Like, he's one of the worst players I've had to watch this season just because I want to watch simple play. Also, I'm just going to take this as an aside to talk about what Zeus replied to my tweet about Aragorn.
Okay.
Dude, it's so exhausting when people say this shit where they are trying to defend a player generally. I don't know what Zeus's angle was with this one, but he said blaming one player completely misses it. From a team perspective, that's rarely where the issue is. When identity isn't clear, everything else breaks.
Oh, wait a minute. Is this the AI Zeus? Is that what you're reading right now?
Yes.
Right, okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
Okay, right.
So first of all, I mean, the AI way of speaking or typing is very apparent here.
You can see it immediately, yeah.
Like the final 3 lines are just like you're not a haiku, dude. Like, okay, whatever. Either way, when people say this stuff, because a lot of people, I'll just give other examples, kind of like Oz Striker type people.
Yeah. I know you.
Tier 4 coaches / like friends of players. They say this stuff. It's like, of course you go blaming one player, and then they always act like the system needs to be rehauled. Sorry, FaZe was one player away after they got rid of Olafmeister from being a defining team of the year of 2022. True. Vitality started an era when they replaced a player. So yeah, that obviously worked for them. Obviously, Astralis, when they got Glaive, that's just one player that absolutely changed everything for them. There is a litany. There, in fact, almost more examples of a single player change, which has led to a team that was sort of a contender, maybe not maybe even not putting it together, then being an excellent team. So I don't know, like, this angle is so exhausting to me that usually there's like a very clear reason. They're the player's friend, or they're from their nationality or something like that. But like, can we stop pretending like it's easier to overhaul an entire system than it is to replace a player?
Also, notice as well,
of BC Game's money.
What he's doing there as well as this, Maui. He's acting like they never thought of that. Like they haven't been doing anything for the whole year. Like, I imagine they've tried to... You think Taz just sat there going, play, lads? He probably tried changing roles and who calls and everything. They probably tried everything. I know what you mean, by the way, Maui, because the Striker one, even though I said we might have been on the show in the future, I know exactly what he did to you. Where what he did is, because he used to play with Major in 1.6, he decided to pretend like he was going to defend him to the ends of the earth. Here's the problem, and I'll just do it because I have a very good memory. So he tried to imply Maui couldn't judge Major in Aurora because Major doesn't have a competent secondary caller. Do you know what I've since seen Striker do himself about other teams that aren't French? Just say stuff like the IGL wasn't good enough or the T-side isn't good enough. I know it's magically they don't need a secondary caller. Like, it's just fake. I know what you mean, Mo. It's like just saying, sorry, I'm in the inner circle and you're not allowed to have an opinion because I know this guy or something. It's like, fuck right off, pal.
Yeah, exactly.
Who do you think could join this team? Do you have anyone?
Dude, I would get
anyone, literally.
Okay. This was going to be another... I can't believe all of these are kind of factoring into my potential hot takes for the show.
All right, just tease one. Tease one.
Flit and Fame.
Okay.
Flit and Fame for Crazy and Aragorn.
Okay.
And then obviously, and the truth is, I wouldn't replace Muturus yet.
Yeah.
I literally wouldn't actually replace him yet. But...
Oh my God.
Okay. Are you done? Are we going to kassad?
No, that's it, yeah. Flame and Future is for Crazy.
Right, come on, hit me with kassad. Is it happening, and who are we changing?
He said, like, I wouldn't change anything. Like, I wouldn't change Muteris. Like, you would have just 4 Ukrainian Russian guys speaking Russian and 1 Portuguese guy just sitting, like, doesn't know. Because that would be a great...
Listen, it is what it is.
I think Muteris has proven himself as an in-game leader by now. That's the truth.
Anytime he has a bad game and walks up to the hotel room, what is he thinking? Like, oh, they must be fucking talking about me in Russian and some fucking...
Sure.
Yeah, that's a great point. But the thing is, like, I like...
He's 33. Get over it. He's 33.
I know what kassad means.
Get the fuck over it.
I'm with kassad. You do know that the second... I think they're actually professional if they let it happen, while they're packing the gear up. But the second they get on that shuttle and Simple and Electronica in the back, and they start going so fast in that Sputnik, like, brr, 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 or you just know... I bet every now and then they even do that mistake where they drop in the name, like, Materi. Like, Aragon. And then the guy's going, what? He goes, oh, sorry, we're just talking about some shit back home. Like, I know. You just know it's crazy.
Talking about Lord of the Rings.
I know. Exactly, 100%. It's crazy work. I know.
Nah, the thing is, like, first of all, Zeus. I like Zeus. He's a good guy, but just I don't know. He became he
went through a wormhole or something.
Taken by Matrix or something.
Who knows? Exactly.
I wish he comes back.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, there is a spec. Is that the word spec? Like a small part.
Yep.
It's a speck of, like, truth. Like, when there is no identity, it's hard to play or do anything. Like when they're, like, floating. That doesn't really give any excuses to the performances like Aragorn or anybody else, for that matter, in the team, except for maybe Simple, And for me, the only thing they need to do is like put the end to this fucking core project completely. And if they want to stay in CS, that's fine. If they have unlimited money because they're a casino betting website, that's fine too. All, praise to them for investing in CS. But just do it all over again. Like, with this lineup, you can't go anywhere. Like, if you are Simple, what do you want to do? Like, what do you want to do? Do you want to be a participant in PGL Bucharest, or do you want to be playing playoffs, semis, and all these things? What do you want to do? So, what needs to happen for you to do that once again? You need to change the whole team, including poor Taz. He went there. He went from one bad decision to another. What did he thought? He's gonna come into this lineup and he's gonna control Simple, or he's gonna do something crazy with his team. Imagine when he can't say anything to Simple and he's talking like all this shit to Mutiris and Aragon. How does that apply to the fucking team chemistry?
Okay.
When Simple is doing crazy shit and Taz is like, I don't see anything. What do you mean, guys? He is the GOAT. And then Aragon does the same shit, and he's like, "You need to fucking do this and that." How does that play out in the team? Like, you need a person that's gonna be, respected there and treat the same way every single player, no matter if he's Simple or Aragorn. But you need to get rid of all of them except for Simple, probably, and get a new lineup and try to do a new project, even with the core if needed.
By the way, I think this is a slam dunk. I agree 71%. I would say yes on this one. I also think, their team, by the way, isn't even going to get any more invites at this point in time. They're doing fuck all these events. They're probably not even going to do anything at Atlanta. If you watch the PGL, bro, this event isn't the top teams. This is fuckers Wildcard could have made playoffs. MIBR made playoffs. This team is absolute shit now. They did have some potential at Krakow. That was a million years ago now. Forget it. That's done. Here's what I would do tomorrow is... Listen, I'm going to ignore politics for a second. The two most obvious groups to recruit from, since Electronic and Simple are good, are Russians and Ukrainians. Luckily, we have a bazillion. We even have loads of Ukrainians. Bait, in a circle. They're all there. They probably all worship Simple. If you want Russians, half a fucking bet boom's pretty good. Recruit some of those guys. Get them to your team. Pay them the fucking BC.Game money and get it going and rolling. You could make this team, if you actually go Eastern Europe and good tomorrow, and they could immediately be in with a shout to fuck VRS. You could get through a qualifier. You could get in a position to actually be at a real PGL without just getting a bullshit VRS thing for having the SOAR core. You don't even need a core. Just make a good team again. Also, last thing to say is this. Everyone thinks I don't critique Simple. In BC.Game, he baits like a motherfucker, and he doesn't even do it in a respectful way where he then wins around. He'll do the shit where he actually does some matchmaking shit where he lets you go around the corner, get your head banged off, then he just goes, I think I'm backing up with this up. Who are you, Jim, you fucking idiot? So anyway, I also think there's another thing. If I'm the coach, Taz, here's what I say to Simple. We're going to get in the players you want, either Ukraine, Russia, you pick, mate. When we get them in, you don't ever fucking bait like that ever again. Play for real, I'll fix the rest of the team. Because I also don't think Taz has to go. I think he could stay to some degree. Just depends if they have to speak Russian or whether he can speak English in the team. Okay, there's one last thing, boys. I've got a really fast, my own, are you ready? Bonus hot take. This is my this isn't mean, Kassad. This is a real one. I was thinking about it earlier. What's a unique hot take no one's ever come up with? I want to float this by people and see what they think. My hot take is this. Within 1 year of the recording of this episode, it's being recorded on the 8th of April, 2026. I don't want it to happen. It's just a hot take. The feeling was in the ether. Kassad, within 1 year of today, will be cancelled from esports and we won't be able to do this show with him anymore. He'll just, listen, I don't know if it'll be on Twitter. I don't know if it'll be on his stream. I don't know if someone finally listens to his stream who understands Serbian and actually knows all the wild shit he's talking about. I don't know what it could be. It could be something about world events, like a nuke could go off somewhere in the world and make the wrong tweet about it. Someone could say something about, I don't know, fucking the women's. I don't know, listen, I don't know where it's coming from. I just know there's daggers all around us. We're like the fucking Starks in season 2 of Game of Thrones, mate. There's just bad shit coming down the pike. I don't want it to happen. I'm like Caitlin, I want you to stay safe, keep it in your pants, but I just think 1 year from now, listen, if we can survive a year, baby, we can survive anything. So what do you think, gentlemen? Thoughts on this hot take?
Hi, Mau, you go. I'll say my piece later.
What do you think?
I'm surprised it's not cancelled already.
That's true. I know. Look, that's also why I came up with it low key. I know.
I know it's gonna. It's. because you've incepted this into his mind. I think it won't. I think he'll actually work against these.
Or maybe that was my real plan, because remember, Maui, he has to believe we're wrong. So the only way he can be right now is the second he's about to hit that tweet, he has to think of this and go, I don't want Thorin to be right on hot take point with the final hot take ever. So
he'll do that. He'll do that. He'll think. And kassad said I don't want Duncan to be right.
Yeah.
But I'm not a bitch. And then he just sends it.
I realised that's not Kassad's style. Kassad's style always has to spin into a bigger hot take. So the joke is, Maui, he thinks about whether he should get cancelled. Then he decides the only appropriate way is he gets somehow all of us cancelled. And we have to just shut the whole LFN down. That could also be the way it goes. So what do you think, Kassad?
Listen. I think, like, at this point, if I wasn't cancelled by this, I mean, wasn't I? I kind of am cancelled.
A little bit.
I don't even know.
Yeah, a little bit,
right? I've noticed
Shadow cancelled.
HLTV doesn't really bring my name anymore anywhere.
Okay.
Like after I told them that they're a bunch of fucking idiots, but that's another story.
Okay.
Like they are fucking racist cunts.
That might be why, by the way.
Anyway, well, that's what they deserve. They're a bunch of fucking sellouts and fuck them. But the thing is, if I wasn't cancelled fully by now, I don't think I will be.
Oh God, those are famous last words too. But okay, I appreciate.
No. Listen.
Okay.
The thing is, like, if it was 2-3 years ago, then yeah, probably.
Okay.
Now after Trump won the election and all these things have kind of died down.
Thank you, Papa Trump, for letting us keep the show going.
Listen, it's not about Trump. If anybody else it wasn't Kamala.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
She was like woke and fucking whatever.
Okay.
But the thing is, like. Many things now are not cancelable anymore.
Okay.
I'll give you an example.
Jesus. Okay.
Ocelot was cancelled because he was in the same place with
Andrew Tate.
Tate.
You think that wouldn't happen now?
If this happens today, instead of that
get away with it.
Do you think he would be cancelled?
He might do. He might get away with it. You might be right. That might be an alright example.
100% he would get away with it.
It'd be close, yeah.
Unless he says something fucking.
Yeah, of course.
But
because it's the fact he didn't say it himself. It's true. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, like, what does it mean to be cancelled, like, completely? Like, what, they're going to take away my Twitter account, or they're going to put me to jail, or what is it? Like, I don't get it. That's the thing. Like, the only thing that you can get cancelled is from this show.
All right, what's impressive is he actually managed to disagree with me by arguing it's impossible to be cancelled at this point in time. So, okay, interesting. Interesting. Find out on the next episode of Hot Take Point Made if that is the last one and if he gets cancelled.